Hi guys, welcome to Quantum Shots. Quantum Shots are part of Quantum Voice, in which we are gonna cover what exciting is happening around in the field of AI. Right? I'm Yogesh, she's Pratyusha, and this video is around Neuralink. Right? So, Pratyusha, what is Neuralink?
Neuralink is the invasive technology when it comes to electrical implants. And this particular technology is the implant in the brain to relocate the activities that happen internally in the brain, relocate the brain signals. Now, how it is different from the existing invasive technologies is basically the construction itself, where the electrodes are extremely thin, so they occupy lesser real estate, which reduces the inflammation in our brain. And also they have about 3,000 channels which help read off of, so that means more data and more interpretation and more control.
So for me, the most interesting is how Neuralink is combining two different paradigms altogether. At one end there is medical science,
Yes.
which has to be thorough in every new technology they come up with, or new treatment they come up with. They have to be thorough, right? And since they have to be thorough, they have to be slow paced, ultra slow paced, so that they make sure whatever new treatment is coming in is right for everyone, right? Because there is a lot of scope of things going wrong in medical science, right?
Yes.
And on the other hand, there is engineering in tech, which is like the sector known to move fast and break things. Right? You have to keep on experimenting, trying new things, and more so when it comes to Elon Musk. It is like building a technology which is at least 10x or 20x better than which was existing before that, right? So it is going to be an interesting thing to watch, right? But why? What are the use cases of Neuralink here?
I think off the bat, the use cases are the first thing they came up with is the helping patients with spinal injuries help with their motor control. So what they are kind of doing is taking the sensory motor data off of the patient, kind of feeding it in via the Neuralink and feeding it into a robotic system that is kind of attached to maybe even an exoskeleton, and help them with their day-to-day activities, maybe even walk eventually. The use cases are like varied, but this seems to be the experiment off the bat that they want to.
Wow. Yeah. And I think they experimented it on pig, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think it is possible for us to get our hands on Neuralink sooner? What do you think the timeline is here?
I am. This is really. They are saying that they are looking at April for the FDA approvals for the bio implant in the human being. But I'm not sure. Obviously, they won't be experimenting on a healthy human being. Probably not a good idea. But I think the damage that can happen, and also the brain's internal adaptive nature and predictive nature, it's not entirely deterministic, because I think we were discussing is the brain's predictive nature is what is hugely attributing to what we call perception.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a external machine, right? So brain can easily discard it. Right. Brain won't accept it because it's external, right? And more so, what I think the problem here is since it's a piece of tech, and as Elon Musk said in the video itself, there will be an API released for other developers, right? So now when the API is released, so people are gonna create extensions for it.
Yeah.
Right? It will be a piece of software, and again, there can be hacking of it.
Oh yeah. That is a. There's like a plethora of concerns when it comes to ethics, even health, even just like the as simple as just implanting is if it is even a healthy process. So there's a lot of things that have to be considered, and it's a long way of vigorous testing. Hopefully extremely deterministic testing, but it's quite not possible because the data that is being read itself is not the recordings that are being read are anything but interpretable. So there's a long way to go to solve any of these problems, but hopefully I am wrong.
So probably we are gonna see the development of this in our own lifetime.
Yeah.
But
what for you would be like the most fascinating application of this device?
I think the most fascinating for me is the telepathic communication. Right. So Neuralink, as suggested in the launch video, will enable people to communicate with the help of infrared. You don't have to say anything, and the communication you want to do will be transferred from one brain to another, right? And that will be the most interesting thing for me, fascinating thing for me.
Fascinating, yeah.
So okay, so one thing, like, will we become a cyborg?
It's quite possible. I mean, having, it is an invasive technology, so I think there is already technologies in the biomedical fields where, we are part cyborgs. But I think the aspect here is, the brain also has to learn to interact with the machine. So yeah, eventually, I don't know how far we are off from that, but I think we will be half cyborgs with half tech implanted and all that.
True.
But I do want to address one application that is pretty interesting to me, is solving some of the mental ailments. That is definitely, it's high time. I feel that there is actually very deterministic solutions to some of the very horrible mental problems like depression and whatnot, Alzheimer's, and so I'd be happy if one of these things is solved like in my lifetime.
Yeah, I think it will be in our lifetime. What I am assuming right now is we'll see Neuralink, or a device kind of Neuralink, replacing mobile devices and laptop devices altogether. Right? So
that can happen.
If you see, we had huge systems. Then the PC or compact PC evolved. Then laptops came in, and now it's like the war is around mobile devices, right? Mobile phones. And then there are AR and VR devices which are not that successful so far.
Right.
But I think if anything can replace mobile phones altogether, will be Neuralink. Imagine, it already said that it will allow you to communicate telepathically through the device, but it's just not about communication anymore, right? So if there is an internet connection, we can watch videos without watching them, right? Without watching them with eyes. But yeah, I think throughout this, one thing we'll see is the strange sci-fi
thing coming
into reality, right?
Yeah.
So, though we'll do a detailed video around neuroscience and all other technologies around it, but in quantum voice. So this is it for Quantum Shots. See you in the next videos.
See you guys.